Welcome guys, we have a question from chemistry. Now the question reads, propene is one of the main important hydrocarbons obtained from the crude oil. Like propane, it is made up of molecules which contains 3 carbon atoms. Now let's look at maybe some basics. First I'm going to look at the prefix. So the prefix is the first part of an organic compound for hydrocarbons, and it states the number of carbons that are found in that molecule. These will help you if you commit them to memory. So the first one is meth. So meth, like from methane, has 1 carbon. Then you have eth, 2 carbons. We have prop, 3 carbons. Then we have but, 4 carbons. Pent, 5 carbons. Hex, 6. Hept, 7. Then oct, 8. Non. Then we have 9. Then we just end on dec with 10 carbons. So these are known as the prefixes, and they tell us how many carbons are there. Then if you look at the suffix, so the suffix will begin with, we just look at 2 for now. So the suffix, which is ane, this one tells us the compound is made up of single bonds only. For example, if you look at this one, propane, we have ane. So it tells us the molecule consists of single bonds only. Then the second suffix is ene, where we are expected to have at least 1 double bond. So this one has ene, there will be 1 double bond. So the ene represents the double bond, while the ane represents the single bonds. Then the first part denotes the number of carbon atoms that are found in that molecule. Now let's have a look at question A1. Draw a structural formula for propene. Now for us to come up with this, first we need to make the molecular formula, then we'll look at the structural formula. So begin by writing the general formula. So the general formula is CN2N, where N represents the prefix. So the prefix, or we can just say N represents the number of carbons. So now let's look at the word for prop. So let's look at prop. So we know that prop is on position number 3. So we are dealing with 3 carbons. So where there is N, we put 3. Then we can just do some math. C times 3 is C3. 2 times 3 is 6. So the molecular formula for propene is C3H6. Now this is just the molecular formula, but we want the structural formula. So for us to write the structural formula, we'll begin by writing the carbon. So we can see that we have 3 carbon atoms. Now whenever you are dealing with organic chemistry, you need to also have in mind the concept of the valence number. For instance, carbon has the valence of 4, hydrogen has the valence of 1. So the valence denotes the number of bonds the element likes to form. For example, carbon makes 4 bonds, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Because of for hydrogen, will only make 1 bond. So that is the importance of knowing the valences number. It will help you to determine the number of bonds the elements will form. Now for this one, we are saying since we have ENA, remember ENA, we said we need to have at least 1 double bond. The 1 double bond can be written, not can, but is written between any two atom carbons. If you want, we can just put the double bond here, or since we are not told the number, we can just put it here. So this is our double bond. And remember, we said each carbon must have 4 bonds. So we put, so this one is filled. Then this one is also filled. Then we can see that we have the 6 bonds. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the 6 atoms of hydrogen. So this is the first answer for the first part. Then Roman number 2, how does propene differ from propane in terms of bond? Propene, where we have the suffix of ene, has a double bond, while ane has only single bond. So say propene has at least one double bond. While propane has a single bond. Then we move on to question 3. To which group of hydrocarbons does propene belong to? So we are still dealing with ene, so we are looking at alkenes. Now number 4, give the molecular formula for propane and propene respectively. So for propene, we have it. Propene has C3H6. Now let's calculate the molecular formula for propane. Now the general formula for alkanes family is Cn is equal to H2n plus 2. Remember, n is still equal to 3, so we put C3 . So C times 3 is 3, then 2 times 3, that is 6 plus 2, which is C3H8. So from this, we can see that the alkanes, the one with ane, has 2 more hydrogen atoms compared to the alkenes. So under the alkenes, we saw that we have 6 atoms of hydrogen, but here we have 8 atoms of hydrogen, and the pattern is repeated. If you go for the one with 8 hydrogen for propene, this one will have 10 hydrogen, so that's a pattern. Then B1, explain why propene reacts immediately with bromine water, whereas propane does not. So because of the presence of this double bond, the alkenes, the one with ene, are considered to be unsaturated. If we look at unsaturated, meaning we are saying they are reactive and they are ready to react. There is a single bond that can break to accommodate the bromine water. So say because propene has a double bond, so that's a simple, that is the simplest one. But if you want to talk more, we can say because propene has a double bond which can accommodate the bromine water. So double bond or triple bond, these types of bonds are considered to be reactive. They are unsaturated. Now for Roman number 2 under B, describe what would be observed during the reaction. We know that the bromine water has depends with the textbook that we are using. In some books they say reddish or brownish. But the point is, we are going to observe a decolorization. So the solution will form a colorless solution. So we'll say we would observe a colorless solution. So that is so the color of the bromine would change to a colorless solution, and because of that change, then we are able to tell that we are dealing with an alkene. And this is also the test for an alkene. If you are told to give, or what you can use if you want to test for an alkene, this is what we simply use. So we use the bromine solution, and if it changes into a colorless, then the solution that you are using is an alkene. Question C, propene is obtained by breaking down longer chains of hydrocarbons. Then what is this process called? So we are dealing with the cracking. Then for question D, propene is a monomer for making an important plastic. State the name of the polymer it forms. Now, polymers, for addition polymers, their names begins with the suffix, the prefix poly. Then after poly, you just add the monomer. So what is the monomer? The monomer is propene. Then the polymer becomes polypropene. And for those that may want to know more about organic chemistry, I have videos based on organic chemistry. You can just start from the genesis of the topic until up to the end, well explained with the examples. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.